2023 NASCAR season has finally started. And what better place to start than at the Daytona 500, am I right? Well, pretty much the 2023 NASCAR season also starts with the Xfinity and the trucks, and I kind of forgot about those. But, as I did last week with the LA Clash, it's now time to do a race review. I have a cliff notes of pretty much the 500, but I also watched some, and I mean some, of the Xfinity, the trucks, and the Arca. And I'm gonna just start, and before I start with all of those, I'm just gonna go straight into speed days. It's not speed weeks anymore; it's speed days. And at that point, you just might as well just call it speed week. It's not me though. It's not me though. But let's just get into this thing. So there was no practice, which had guys like Connor Daly and Chandler Smith scrambling. I think they were both the slowest cars to qualify for the race, and it kind of hurt them massively. Well, not for Connor, but I'll talk about Connor later. One thing I did forget to mention was the duels. Looking back at it, so I'm gonna put it into this slot right here because the next part is gonna be about the trucks. Duel 1 I didn't watch at all. I did not watch Duel 1 at all because I actually was at college doing work and class. But from what I heard, Duel 1 was boring. Nothing happened, and Logano won Duel 1. I couldn't tell you who finished where. Zane Smith made it to the show, and I already give my hats off to him later on in this. And then Duel 2, I didn't see the first half of Duel 2 because I was now traveling back home to see Duel 2. But I will say this one thing right now, it was better than Duel 1. I got to see the final half, but there was some action. Sad for Kyle Busch to get turned by Suarez there. But on the good note, Almirola won the second duel, so that was pretty good. He got a good starting spot. That was a second duel win, but unfortunately, spoiler alert, it wasn't going to get him his first Daytona 500 win. The truck race, I didn't watch. Apparently it was good, and then rain just ended it, and I came back to see the rain part. And Zane Smith won, so good job for him. I'm not a guy that gives awards, but if I was Jimmy Spencer, he would probably get a cigar for that. Qualifying, making the race for the 500, and winning the truck's not bad. So cigar for Zane Smith, if I was Jimmy Spencer. The Xfinity, I don't even know if it was a good race or not. All I know is Austin Hill won again. Not a shock at all. I just got a new controller, and I was paying little to no attention to the Xfinity race. Like I said already, the only thing I know is Austin Hill won, and Junior Motorsports had a literal 4-on-1, and they just blew it, so congrats. And then the Yaka, it was pretty cool. A driver that doesn't race on super speedways won, that was awesome. But I couldn't really give you an opinion on that because I wasn't really paying attention to it. Now I got those out the way. Now it's time to go to the big one, the Daytona 500. And I'm going to just get this out the way. For the first for the first 2.5 stages, this was up there, was potentially one of the best Daytona 500s ever. But it's not because of stage 3. And the ads, bro. They were throwing ads like every 9 to 10 laps. And it was like, bro, I understand this is the best opportunity to get paid, not only as a driver, but also as Fox itself. But oh my God, we were experiencing great racing. And every time with I already said 9 to 10 laps. Sometimes it would be even earlier than that. I was like, let's throw in a commercial. Let's throw in an ad. Let's talk about the same Kevin Harvick Busch sponsor that you can win $50,000 towards your retirement. Like, cool. That's all cool. But the racing was so good that we don't need any of that. Please, bro. We were experiencing really good racing. And the ads just kept on delivering badly. And it's like, come on. And then the moment they're going to do side-by-side, which is, I'm okay with side-by-side. The moment they throw an ad, pretty much The first caution, not counting stage breaks, the first caution happened with Blaney and Reddick getting or Reddick getting squirrely and hitting Blaney and causing that whole fiasco. But I'm getting off track with the Blaney stuff, so I have a lot. Blaney's gonna be talking a lot in this video, so be on the lookout for that. Let's go back to stage one. Clean stage one, except for Riley Hurt spin and Hamlin knocking trucks into Bubba, and pretty much, in my opinion, ending Bubba's 500 chances. The moment they said, "Oh, it's a broken toe link," I already knew he was done for. I don't know where he finished. I think he finished somewhere in the top 20, but it's like that. You had no other chance. Every time when he would start up front, he would immediately be shoved, not shoved, or lose. He would immediately lose the draft in the inside, and it was like, what do you expect? What do you expect? So Toyota's blunder forced that to happen, and it was pretty good racing. And at the end of the stage, Brad won, which I honestly thought that was a sign of, hey, this may be his 500, along with a lot of other people. Stage 2 begins, and other than Kyle Busch speeding on pit road, who fought back and almost won. If it was 1998, he would have won, and we would be celebrating like no tomorrow. Sorry, Kyle, but you had a great run still. Ryan Blaney, here we go. First off, I want to give a cigar out to Blaney. Like I said, I ain't no Jimmy Spencer, but if I was, cigar for Blaney. So Blaney caused, realistically, 2 cautions. His video game blog that he did like on lap 1, like in the halfway point of the race, that's something you usually do with the white flag. He did it with 100 to go. And that pretty much helped set up the wreck from Harvick, I guess slightly bumping Reddick, making him lose whatever aerodynamics Reddick had, and also in the Blaney and causing that wreck. But a cigar for Blaney for causing 2 wrecks, or 2 cautions with a tire going down, and somehow finishing 8th. That's a cigar that's worth giving to Blaney. That's amazing. That was amazing. Obviously, BS luck. Stage 3 is stage 3. Super Speedway Racing at the end, like with 40 to go, is going to be exactly how you think it is. And it was that. But cigar for Blaney. He won. Or he didn't win, but he pretty much won. Had a messed up car and finished 8th. Good job, Blaney. Also, I already talked about this earlier, but the constant advertisements, that has to end. And also, I saw a tweet earlier from a lot of people saying this. Man, remember like in the golden ages when there would be a crash happening? When they go to commercial, a crash happens and they immediately go back to the race? I don't do that anymore. I don't know why. But, you know, anything to get that paycheck. Anything to get that paycheck. And I gotta say, this NASCAR needs it, but at the same time, it's just not right. But Chastain winning stage 2 was pretty cool. Also, I forgot to mention in the first stage, I think Jimmy scored some points. So, good job, Jimmy. Stage 3, I already talked about Blaney's tire going down. To the point where this became a field strategy race. And then it didn't, because cautions just happened. Caution number 3 with around 20 to go. I honestly don't know who got turned, because all I have here on the notes is forming back up after pit stops. And I know, and it's like when you're forming back up to regain the draft, apparently something happened and someone apparently didn't hook up, or they got pushed into the corner, and obviously, you know, that's not going to work because, you know, it's the corner at a super speedway. I know you got fresh tires, but still, you got to let off. And that didn't go well. And then everything seemed to go well. I was going to put this as, with 5 to go, all the way to lap 195, I was going to put this as one of the best Daytona 500s in the history of 500s. And I know there's some 500s that you say those words, something bad happens, but I'm not going to go there. Then a rate lace yellow because Suarez spun with 3 to go and pretty much ruined Kyle Busch's chances of winning. I have you on this list. Pray for no shit show because that was the 4th caution, and I was thinking to myself during in stage 1, the over under for cautions I said was 6.5, and we got to 6, so that's pretty good. You go past that over, I'm sorry. To me, that becomes a little bit of a shit show. And then on the restarts, we had what could have been the big one. Austin Dillon spun with a shove from behind. I don't know who it was. And it caused a big one and ruined Kyle Busch's chances. This is where Ricky Stenhouse Jr. came out of nowhere. Just nowhere. Got around Logano on the last, during whenever this caution was happening. Got the lead, and then we went back racing. They crashed again, and Stenhouse won the damn thing. If you go probably to the sports or the betting odds, they did not have that man winning at all. They did not have that man winning at all. So everyone's I see on Twitter, Mickey win? Well, no, because he's just he can deliver. It's just, sometimes he goes a little bit too in over his head. But today was different. He got it done. Stenhouse won the Daytona 500. I saw a tweet, and it made sense in the beginning, but I was like, if you do that, then something bad was gonna happen again. I saw what if on Twitter. I'm gonna put this tweet up on the screen. Shane ended under yellow, but that was a massive crash. Wonder if there needs to be a change where if they don't reach turn 3 on the white flag, we do it. And if they crash on 3 and 4, let them race to the line. That's kind of, I'm going to be honest, that's kind of what they did, though. Like, at super speedways and, like, somewhat in the early 2010s, even if there was overtime, that's just say, hey, just go back to the line because it's like, it's on the backstretch. I forgot where this crash happened. I think it was either exiting turn 2 or down the back straightaway. If it happened down the back straightaway, then no, it didn't happen. No, it happened in turn 1. What am I talking about? It happened in turn 1, so I can understand where he's going with this. But I'm gonna be honest, what if you want Joey Logano winning the Daytona 500 again? I don't want you to make a video giving it a 0 out of 10 because you wanted to implement this rule and he won because he finished second in the actual damn event. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't want Logano to win this, but I'm not hating towards Logano. I just kind of didn't want him to win it. I was okay with Stenhouse winning it, but, it's not the guy I wanted to win. The guy I wanted to win got taken out a part of that last wreck. Speaking of that last wreck, everyone, including myself, was doubting Kyle Larson because there is no way he should have been in this race. And he was. I think he was either leading or in the second row when the last restart happened. And then he got taken out. And then he got taken out by Pastrana, which finished 11th in a beat-up car. Cigar for you. Or actually, not a cigar. Shout out for you. Which got turned by Almirola. Sucks. But, that's where we are. Stenhouse 1, Logano 2nd. Let's see if I can pull up the results real quick. Christopher Bell 3rd. Chris Buescher 4th. Suarez, after getting turned, finished 7th. I said Blaney finishing 8th. Riley Herbst, top 10, even though you're part-time. Congrats. You outbested Zane Smith. And, that's an accomplishment getting the top 10. I already said Pastrana got 11th. There was only 17 cars running at the end of this race. Actually, no. 17 cars there's cars that are running, but in that big pack. Chase starting off the year great, finishing 38th. Maybe what if NASCAR Heat Rival Series is coming true. He may have a bad start to the year, but that's just it's what it is. I didn't mention Allmendinger got 6th, and he pretty much almost caused a wreck in the first stage, so good job for him. And that's pretty much all the main guys. Cody Ware got 14th. I mean, he outran Truex, who got damage, Hamlin, who got damage. Uh, I mean, LaJoy, I think LaJoy had damage. He outperformed those guys. Jimmy finished 31st, so I'm sorry, Malcolm Rooks, or however you say that last name. I'm sorry, Mike. I'm sorry, Mike. You couldn't get your boy to win one last time. But hey, he may do other races, and you may have Chicago as an opportunity. I don't know. But that's gonna pretty much do it for what I got to say. Oh, ratings. Haha. So the first 180 laps, this was a 9 out of 10, no question about it. And then the rest was like a slow decline. When the race first finished, I gave it a 7.5, but then I actually ended off with a 7. It was good. It was a really good race, and then, chaos happened at the end, which I kind of expected. But then the race itself, I got a 7 for, but the presentation from Fox Sports, I gave it like a 3 because of the such constant ads that annoyed the literal mess out of me. And that's pretty much all that I have to say for it. There isn't nothing else. Yeah, really isn't nothing else to say. So Stenhouse can now never show up again and still be competing for the championship when September hits, or whenever the final date until the actual playoff start is. So congrats, Stenhouse. I know you said in a press conference this is just the start of many things. It could be. It could be. Yeah, Stenhouse can now win 30th to 38th. He still make the chase. Stupid rule, but whatever. You gotta live with it. Well, that's all I got. That's all the Cliff Notes got. 7 out of 10. Really solid race. The ending kind of screwed it, but it's the ending. You gotta expect that. So that's gonna do it for me. Next week is Auto Club, and that's gonna be one sad one for me because that's the last race of the 2-mile configuration. If it's a shit show, then hey, maybe it's for the best. But me personally, I'm gonna miss that track because it's such an iconic track. A 2-mile track that opened in the, I think, late 90s. And brought many great memories for me. I've never been there for a race, but ever since 2011, there's always been good finishes there. So, can't wait to see what this last one brings. And hopefully it goes good, because then we can just constantly pound NASCAR, whoever's redoing the short track configuration, to not do it as a short track. So, who knows? But it's going to be a while. So, next week, Auto Club. I'll see you guys then. And as long as for these race reviews, I'll see you guys at Auto Club.